Y'all already know. Here we be. SWP with another show. Y'all missed us. We missed y'all.
We back.
Y'all see we got somebody up here new. Y'all probably wondering who this is, ain't y'all? But before we get into that, y'all already know I'm your girl Tanya.
I'm Bernard.
And I am your host, Kiana. What's up? We back all the way live.
And then look who on the screen, on the front screen today.
Is that I? That is I. That is I. I am the director, Natasha.
Y'all already know. Exactly. So y'all already looking at that, and y'all probably looking in the subject line, and y'all probably saying, "What the heck is going on today?" Yeah, you want to tell them?
Well, we about to tell y'all what's going on today.
Oh, man.
So, our topic is, let's talk about masturbation. I think it's episode 8. So, we're going to dig into some stuff about masturbation. And we're going to keep it, of course, try to keep it clean as possible. Tasteful. It's going to be tastefully done. So, y'all join in, conversate with us. We want to hear your opinions and thoughts as well. So, Tanya.
Absolutely. So y'all already know it's always a reason why we pick each topic, and today is because we done got shut in for 30 days. I think it's till the 30th of April. What is y'all doing in that house? I know y'all is doing something in that house, whether it be with your partner or whether it be by yourself. We just know it's a conversation that need to be had, and most people don't want to touch it, so you already know that's what SWP do. So let's check.
Literally touching it.
Right. You hear her in the background. Literally, we touching it.
Let's talk about it.
Right, so we're going to start with the definition of masturbation first.
Hey, look at us right here. We here.
We were here.
We here. Go.
You want me to give it? Okay. So it is the stimulation of the genitals with the hand for sexual pleasure.
And it works. I'm just saying. I've seen it before.
You've seen it before.
I've seen it before.
Well, how you know it works? If you just synced it.
I didn't get to that part yet.
Okay. We'll get there.
We
I
gotta
got
get there
you.
for sure.
I got you.
All right, but I had a little bit more in depth of it because I'm just a little extra sometimes. It says it is an erotic stimulation, especially of one's own genitals, organs, commonly resulting in orgasm and achieved by a manual or other bodily contact, exclusive of sexual intercourse, by instrument manipulation, occasionally by sexual fantasies, or by various combination of these agencies.
Oh, you just extended
Wow.
You broke it
Wow.
down.
Yeah, so I'm just like, okay, because they said just by the hand. I'm like, it's plenty of other things that you can do besides use that hand, and we're going to get into those little juicy details.
Was that your definition of masturbation?
Yeah, you got a different one?
Well, I have that. I do.
There you go.
The act of pleasuring oneself.
Did you hit record?
I hit recording.
Okay.
Recording, right? Yes. The act of pleasuring oneself, the vagina, the penis, or in the back.
In the back?
Anal.
Okay, I got it.
There is a such thing as anal stimulation.
There is.
There is.
It's
Hopefully
a crazy,
we're gonna
but
get
you have to
into
be that person to do. You gotta.
I want to explore.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do anal exploration?
You don't know what to do till you make it do what it do.
Hey.
Take it another drink.
Hey.
I'm just
Sip
saying.
tea.
So,
All right.
We got technical difficulties over there.
What's going on?
It's my phone.
Hotspot.
This phone is good. And this is good.
Yeah. It's on
Okay,
here.
Kiana, go do this record from your phone. From Anchor. Sorry, you got to make sure that we get the audio on
yes.
other platforms.
Technical difficulties. Excuse me.
But while they're doing that, I'm going to give y'all some of these statistics before we get into these old juicy conversations that I know everybody kind of ready to talk about.
Okay.
So they said masturbation was higher in males than females in all age groups, both lifetime and within the last 90 days.
Yeah.
So this is current.
Current.
I can agree with that.
Current. So it says from ages 14 to 17, 14 is 62.6%.
Yeah.
15-year-olds is 72.7%.
Those are high numbers.
I can believe that.
And 16 is 71.1%, and 17-year-olds is 80%. Y'all is really getting it in at an early age.
Well,
I think it's because I think in
it's got a lot to do with puberty, which we all go through.
Right.
yeah.
I agree.
Now puberty is different because we have different makeups of bodies.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
that being said, the man stimulation is almost like it has to happen.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
It has to happen.
Like if
I didn't know what you mean. I'm sorry.
You say that again.
I didn't know if we knew what you meant. Like you said, when
You
you say I
said
know what I
it
mean,
has to
I don't know if
happen.
we know.
It has to happen because our penis will hurt and will thrive. We'll get erections at a young age, and before Viagra came out, we had our normal erections was more than was like.
Is that why the little boys when they take baths, they in the bathroom just
For 3 hours.
Yeah.
3 hours?
Yeah, they
And
playing
it's
with that
fun,
little
and it's fun.
ass
That's
thing.
that feeling that they've got.
Yeah, it's a tingling. So
That
it's
feeling.
pretty much like,
Feeling.
you know, I don't let me see. Okay, so you're right on their orgasms, right?
Mhm.
You know how it is when you get it from a natural sexual,
Right.
and you know how it makes you feel. Now, what makes you feel better? When you stimulate yourself, or when you get it from a mate?
It's the same.
It's the same.
Mhm.
Not if he don't know what he's doing.
Not if you don't know what he's doing.
Well, that's if you're not getting it from the man, I guess.
But I think it's part of the puberty anyway. We all go through
You're talking about is the orgasm the same
Curiosity.
if you're getting it from
Do you satisfy yourself?
Masturbation?
Do you satisfy yourself more than he do?
Yeah, that's
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
Can you make yourself come
I
harder
get
than
what
when
you're
he?
saying.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah, I get it.
And masturbation to me is no embarrassment to it no more.
No.
Just like how the LGBTQ RESPCT.
Yeah.
that's
But
what it is.
no disrespect to the gay community.
Yeah,
I'm just
absolutely.
saying, but it was called in the closet for a reason.
Mhm,
And it was an embarrassment to it. It was
Yeah.
stereotyped.
Yeah.
You were bullied, you were kicked, spit upon. But now it's so fluid, natural. So it's not a guy
So
out
you
here.
think it's more socially acceptable? Masturbation has become.
Yes, there's no more embarrassment within yourself because of course you're not gonna masturbate out in public unless you're fucking
That's
sick.
true. That's true.
So when you accept it yourself and
Yeah.
you realize, hey, I don't feel shameful because a lot of people are Christians and their parents, but you were taught that's a sin in God's eyes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
If
Because
you-
I was going to get
Yeah,
into
we was
that.
gonna touch on that. We was gonna touch on that.
Okay.
But I do want to go back to what you were saying as far as the statistics
Yeah,
with the younger ones. I think
that's just the men because I haven't given all
a statistic for women.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, men are horny
Oh, well.
dogs. We're
I mean, I can only touch on women. Then you
Well, let
made
me give you that
statistics for
before.
women. I mean, he touched on
Let me
what
give
he
you
know as far as
first
men,
before
right?
you give your
yeah, men. If a man
they
tell me he
want-
ain't jacked off, he a lie.
I know that's
Yeah.
And
right.
I think so
If
too.
any man
Show
tell me, if any man, I don't care if you homosexual or not, any man, anybody with a penis, y'all relieve yourselves usually.
Okay. Well, wait a minute.
Look, I'm single. I don't get it. I work a lot, so I'm sexually frustrated. I get that way too.
That's
You
a
know what I'm
question.
saying?
Yeah.
Because we got that category as well. But you're jumping on everything.
Just
Hold
Slow
on,
down.
hold on.
It's a 45-minute show.
Let me give you statistics on the women count, and then you can go ahead and expound on what you were just going to say.
Okay.
So it says men are most likely to start masturbating from their teens into the middle age, and then the rate starts to drop around the age of 50. But they were saying if men who already masturbate, they normally continue to do it until y'all expire. And then it takes women.
Fire. What do you mean? Expire? We die. I'm about to down my head, my dick in my hand. Oh, excuse me. Oops.
He died with his dick in his hand. So, all right. So now it says it takes young women some time to warm up to masturbation. It says women aged from 20 to 30 were most likely to masturbate.
Really?
So they don't have a young.
Yeah, it's not like the boys.
You don't have
that
a starting
start
point.
at 14 years
Yeah.
old.
What
Yeah,
age
so-
did you start?
Did you want to give your
Yeah,
what
I
you
was.
say?
Oh,
You
my
was
bad.
out. You was.
I'm just saying, I
He
thought we were
caught me
talking.
off guard.
Look,
Look,
I know you do that Tony boy when he said, "How old are you?"
When your last dental appointment?
You caught me off guard with that, but no, I thought it was actually younger than that. You know what I'm saying? Because I always thought that, you know, just like little boys, women like to explore their bodies and find out, you know what I'm saying, what pleases them as well. I didn't think that it was when they got in their early 20s. That's
Sound like
yeah, that sounds
Curiosity
to me. So I thought it was younger than
Curiosity
that.
talks to kids. They talk to. I'm just curious. That's
It is. It's definitely curiosity. You touching on yourself, trying to, you know what I'm saying, figure out. And then not only that, you probably done overheard mama and daddy and them moaning and groaning. You trying to, you know what I'm saying?
They got in your mind.
What's going on in there? Let me see
Right.
what I
Sensation. My body tell
Like
you what the heck going
you don't walked in on something, done seen something. You
Right.
like, you done got
Right.
aroused by
Right.
that. You know what's going on with that?
Yeah, something going on with your body.
Yeah, so now your body, you know what I'm saying, you trying to touch and feel like, why is it feeling the way that it's feeling?
Right.
Let
Yeah.
me see what.
because it's natural when your body changes like that.
I agree.
And a woman, I feel, has to know her body.
Yeah, you got. Do you know your own
You
G
got to
spot
know
on
your
real?
own body. You got to
You
know
gotta
your
find
own
it.
body.
We taught a lot of things in elementary school, but G-spot is
It's
not,
not
one.
one of them.
Yeah, because they don't want
Absolutely.
you
You
to
don't
find that
learn that till
motherfucker.
later.
They don't want us to find it. They
No.
don't want you to find it.
They
And
want-
teach y'all where the G spot at.
No.
You know
No.
what your G spot
We
is?
had
probably
to teach
should.
them that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's interesting. Look,
You
yeah.
know what your G spot is?
Yeah.
Where's
Where is it?
Okay, so what's the definition of G spot?
No.
Let's start from
go
there.
back.
You already know what it is.
They don't. They might not.
Y'all know what the G spot is.
Answer that. I
Nope.
think y'all know
Everybody
what
calling in.
G-spot
I
is.
don't think so. It's
Yeah.
But
Viewers.
listen though, where do you
Hey,
know what
viewers.
Hi,
You guys
viewers.
been tuning in. Y'all already know y'all can tap on that keyboard.
yeah, I know what my
Hey.
G spot is.
Where your G spot at?
Can I talk?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay, when I'm erect and I'm having sex or getting some oral, my G spot is right at the base.
The base of your
Well,
penis.
I mean,
or
that's
the
a
head?
good
Head. I mean, above
Did you
your
say
head.
Right there.
Yeah.
And then there's a spot under my balls
Mhm.
in the back.
I think a lot of people think that that's what a man G spot is. Not at the base, but I do think they know that that's a good spot to
Where is
tamper
it?
with.
Do you know?
Yeah.
It's in your anus.
I know. I know. I know G spot my anal.
Listen,
I'm about to-
Google it,
What
y'all.
time you show up with?
Man,
Yeah, it is in your
My
anus.
prostate.
It's in your anus.
Yeah, it is.
Well, it's a stay there.
So,
Ain't that
no,
motherfucker
what I'm
coming
saying,
out.
you Google that. And I'm just as surprised as you because when I found that out, I was like, you know,
Because men don't look at us.
You know that video.
Men don't look like it as if they got a G spot. I mean, I'm just like,
you do.
You didn't
I didn't know.
think you had one?
I didn't even care to even know. I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't
I
doubt
want to
it.
read a couple of these comments.
Okay, so let's
I was
let
getting ready to
Keisha
do
get
that.
some of these comments
I wouldn't
ready
doubt it.
before we get, because I got a question. Go ahead.
Men shouldn't have no damn G spot.
Why?
Well,
No.
I'm going to read a couple of the comments, but I think everybody should have some type of pleasure spot. Why can't he have a G spot?
Our
Maybe,
pleasure spot is touch that motherfucker.
well, maybe it should be called the G spot.
It should be called the.
The spot.
Well, it is the
It
spot.
is.
Touch it there, right there.
No.
So there's a lot of viewers.
Hi, viewers.
Kimi.
What's up, y'all?
We have Pam, Penny. There's a lot of people. Amber, Lockjack. Hey, Puddin'.
Y'all need to play that song DMX made.
So Kimi said, Akemia says that her son actually started around age 7 or 8. She would catch him in
Yeah.
the act.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Girls
call
gone
myself an
wild.
actor around 6.
Right.
I can believe
I
that.
think that's
Yeah.
probably a more accurate
Accurate
age,
age.
7 age, yeah.
Yeah.
Akila says men don't be knowing though, like they don't know what a G spot is.
I did know. Thank y'all for
You
telling
did
me.
know, you learned early.
I did not know.
Yeah,
I'm be 48 in September. I did not know I had a motherfucking G spot.
In your anus.
But it ain't wrong there. It
I
ain't for
don't
y'all.
even
Don't
know
touch
you
my
had
shit.
one. You didn't even know what that was in your face.
That's the wrong place for it to be for a man.
I can't. Puddin says, hey y'all.
Hey,
And I think Lockjack is a little confused. He laughed and he said, wait a minute, what is going on here?
Who's that?
Lockjack.
What's up, what you doing in your alone time?
Is that a man?
That's a man.
What's up, bro? Hey, I got you, man. Hey, let me tell you, there's nothing wrong with it. We gotta get that shit out, bro.
That's what I wanted to ask before we kind of dive deep, because I know everybody's kind of eager to get into the in depth in these conversations. What are you guys' opinions about masturbation?
My opinion is, okay, masturbation helps in many different ways.
Yes.
It really does. For single men, it's different. They have different angles of why they do it.
Right?
You have married men who do it. Now that's a more wider broadband of
Well,
excuses
before you
as to
get all
why.
of those details, it's a do you think it's okay?
I think it's okay and I think it's healthy
Okay.
as well.
Then we're gonna leave it there because that's what you're talking about. It's gonna be in the
Yeah, I think it's nothing wrong with it. I mean, it's almost like it has to be done to my opinion. I just jacked off yesterday. I'm good for like 2 weeks.
Keep it real. Keep it real.
Right,
Y'all already know we don't want it no other kind of way.
I ain't bullshit. I swear to God, I'm gonna be honest. I ain't on no crazy shit, but that's what it is.
Kiana, what's your opinion?
I do. I believe that masturbation is also it's also okay, and I think it helps you relieve a lot of stress. Huh?
Yeah, it's a stress reliever.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's also, it helps you relieve stress, and I just think that it's necessary. I mean, at one point I would say that I would have thought I would never have been having a conversation like this because of how I was brought up.
A
Yeah.
little bit more conservative.
Yeah.
So
a lot more conservative.
a lot of
I
people-
would not have a conversation about masturbation or even say that it's
Yeah.
something that I would do
Yeah.
as a woman.
Yeah.
So.
And then you got that guilty aftermath. Some people can't deal with that.
I
Yeah.
was gonna
So
say that.
they do it in secrecy of themselves. Like like I said, if a guy tell me he don't, it's because he's feeling guilty while he's doing it.
Feeling convicted.
Yeah, he feels. I mean, he knows he shouldn't be doing it. But
I was finna say I
Say
thought
you
that
don't
was
say
a little bit more.
it's a biblical thing. You know what I mean?
Like how it is with the female on female is a little bit more
Acceptable.
than it for a man than it is for a woman. But I don't know, it kind of teeters on both spots. But before we get into that, Tasha, what's your answer?
Well, I was getting ready to say the same thing that because I thought we were talking quickly about the Christianity part of it, and I was going to say, do you feel guilty?
I want to know what do you think is okay or not?
I think it's okay. It's natural.
Okay.
It's healthy.
It's normal.
It
It's
can
natural,
be
it's
a stress
normal.
reliever.
Yeah.
You had a hard week.
And build up
Shout out some
your
steam.
hand muscle too.
Go real quick and
I
just.
feel I can rip a lock off in
Yes,
given
yes.
time.
It's healthy.
If somebody
It
give me my help, like
releases-
help me.
You know what? Hold on.
I rip a lock off for him.
I may need Keisha to help me with
No,
this.
like sometimes you gotta.
Oh,
With
okay, baby.
it releases things in your body like endorphins, like it makes you happier. It takes you to a nicer, calmer place.
Why am I being pulled in this?
Because I was just saying, because in case I couldn't get the word endorphins.
Got you, baby.
You know those happy feelings and things that you get when you.
It is a safe
that
place.
build up pressure.
I
in
don't
your
know.
body.
I call it a safe place because it's preventing you from getting pregnant.
Yeah, safe sex food.
It's preventing you from catching a disease.
It can be
It's
safe
giving
sex
you
for the
pleasure.
21st century.
Unless
I
you
mean-
use that nasty toy when you had it and you didn't wash it. But go ahead.
Yeah. If
It's
you-
not adding to your body count.
That part.
So I mean, hey.
Look, y'all already know us women be worried about that body
Body
count. As a
count,
matter of fact, I ain't gonna even just say the women. I think the men be more worried about it than us.
Right.
personally.
How many
What?
partners you say
But
you had?
anyhow,
About what?
the body count of a
3.
woman.
The body count.
How many people she done been with sexually?
Well, you can't.
Listen.
You know what? You,
Oh.
you just can't.
Please
You can't do
Different
that.
topic for a different day.
Yeah,
My
that's a
opinion
good one
about
too. Because you can't do that. You can't.
My
I'm paying
opinion
attention to
about
what
as far as to whether or not it's, I guess whether or not it's okay to do it, I teeter on both sides. I think today where I am now, I think it's just fine. At some point, I don't think I would say no because I probably was leaning more towards I thought it was a sin.
But people have to realize
we're talking
too.
about now. Okay.
You
So
you
go
can
back.
over masturbate because when if you keep pleasuring yourself and then you hook up with a mate, you're not gonna react the same. It's gonna take either you longer to come or you won't come at all.
Really?
Yeah,
I think so too.
I was with
Really?
this before I moved here from Detroit. I was with this chick.
You ever heard somebody say that they went in the bathroom and handled one first before
So it won't
she
come
got
too
there?
fast.
Right.
That's because a motherfucker they don't
That's
feed
right.
themselves
That's
either.
right.
That part.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. So you agree?
Or it could
Wow.
be
For the minute
so-
brothers.
1 minute, brother.
Mhm.
He have to jack start her
Yeah.
to get her going first.
But I was with this
'Cause he
chick,
might
she
not be-
masturbated so much. It was to the point where she could not come unless she did it herself.
Wow.
I think that I think that that's
really,
accurate
really-
information.
It took her a long time to come from us having sex.
You know what? And then
A long time.
I'll say this.
Tomorrow, I was about to be like, you gotta get the fuck up off of me.
No, you just need to work harder. But like,
No.
but on some
Work
other
harder.
junk, just to add to you, I seen a post on social media where they were vibrators, right? How they got different levels of vibration on it, and they just talking about, when you go to something natural, which is a man, they definitely don't have the same type of capabilities that a device do. So that's what I think that's more or less.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It could be harmful too.
Yeah, they can.
I think you should use
You got
it
some
when
comments
needed.
that you want to incorporate.
There's no turbo function on the man. Yeah, a couple of comments here. I can't.
Too far past.
No, I'm good. I'm paying attention. Twan said, I'm living with my mama or my woman. I'm jacking off a few times a week.
Yeah.
Jacking off and be like, what? Fuck a bitch, I ain't dealing with her extra shit right now, so I guess he'd rather jack off.
Yeah.
Kimi said, you go to sleep afterwards, and plus you get familiar with your own body.
Yeah.
Kane said, ain't nothing wrong with getting yourself off.
Yeah.
Jock say, hell, I do it every time. Kimi say, can't nobody make you come like you.
Nobody.
Yes. Hey, Brother Greg, we see you.
That's what I meant when I
joining in.
asked you earlier.
Right.
When I made reference to,
Yeah,
can you
I
make
got
yourself better than American
Yeah,
people?
I definitely got it.
You know what I mean?
I prefer, me personally, I prefer for a man to do it. I don't prefer for me to do it by myself.
We
And
got-
not only to the
So
fact-
masturbate responsibly, my friends.
Okay. But before I get into those details, you had a question?
Question from the audience. Question from the audience. He's a little shy.
Yeah.
Okay, well, go ahead.
Go ask
Everyone
a
said,
question.
do women feel? Do you feel? How do we feel about our men?
Oh yeah, point blank. First time you caught your man on masturbating and everything like that, what was your response to that? Did y'all feel like y'all wasn't, pleasing him or what? Right, tell me.
Caught him? I don't think
I
I ever caught.
That's not a rare thing. That's not
We
an
don't
often
normally
thing.
catch
then
you.
Yeah.
he's a
But
good motherfucker.
just the
Yeah.
fact of
He
knowing
good.
that
He good. He good.
Yeah.
He good.
With that being said, alright.
But does it bother
how do
you
y'all feel
knowing?
now?
Yeah.
That he does that?
Yeah.
That he may do that?
Yeah.
But
You give him some or you don't give him.
well, who want to go
Well,
first?
and
I
I
feel
got-
like
I-
everybody got an opinion.
I got caught before.
And hold on, huh?
No, listen.
What was
Listen.
your-
Like a motherfucker
Hey, my man,
I wasn't
you
jacking,
know,
I was just sauce in it.
You want to go first?
I got caught before because when I was married, I got caught by my wife. It was only because she was on her period. But when she caught me, she was like, "What you want?" You know what I'm saying?
So she didn't care.
She
didn't
was
mind.
more mad that I was looking at
Yeah.
porn to do this.
So she felt like she was.
But I got caught. She said, "I knew you'd be jacking off." I said, "You do too, motherfucker." It would turn to some crazy shit early in the morning.
I'll be sitting down.
I was a good pancakes there. I ain't cook shit that morning. I was mad, but yeah, I got caught before. It's the fucked up feeling. I never discussed it with
You
her.
never had.
I never said yeah, I jacked off. She never asked me. She just flat out fucking caught me.
So you was embarrassed.
I was embarrassed. I tried to do like this and shit. I hurt my balls and shit. Ankle balls.
With y'all system?
I think I would have felt a certain kind of way if I would have caught it, just simply because I wasn't prepared for that. I don't know exactly why you were doing it. Maybe you felt like, you wasn't getting it enough, and I felt like I'm, here to sexually please you, and you're, trying to do something behind my back instead of just coming to me and asking me, for what you want. But now, as I've grown and I know certain things, I understand that this is just something that naturally takes place. It's normal.
And then you get people who just enjoy it because that's their
The
freaky
pleasure,
side.
yeah, it's just pleasurable,
You enjoy your mate sex,
just
but
like
you enjoy yourself too.
It feels good to touch oneself.
yeah.
So what is your opinion about his comment time?
I've never caught anybody jacking off, but I don't think I would get mad.
He want to know, would you help him?
I would think I would help him. I'd be like, let me help you. Do that.
What the fuck? Let me help. That'd be so freaky. That'd be
Right.
badass. Baby, I need some help. Clear.
Yeah.
Come in. Yeah.
All I got is in my head is that image of that GIF with Kim Kardashian peeking at the
I
The Jill,
Yeah.
Kim
I would.
Kardashian and
Kim
that
Kardashian in the bushes and she coming out
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
like that.
Okay.
I would because, and then another reason why he may be doing it is because if I pleasure him, maybe I'm not pleasuring him right. He knows how he wants it. I need to learn how he needs to be pleasured. You understand what I'm saying?
Can I ask a
We're
question?
A team.
Can I ask a
Because
question?
you got someone that just do it too
Okay,
down.
I'm not gonna
He
ask
just,
that.
that's too much.
You can ask
First
questions
thing in the morning, he
but
wake up.
That's what he do.
He up here, you
Look,
know,
I was
do
told-
another one. No, like
Too
5 times,
Too
6
much,
times a day.
too much
Every
throughout
day.
the day. He likes
5
to
or
have
6
sex.
times
all
a day.
day.
Okay, well then maybe that's
Yeah,
an
that's
emotion, a psychological problem.
Yeah.
It's
Is that-
a
I think
lot
that
more
goes
on the
way
sexual
beyond-
addiction
I say
side.
5,
it's
6
more-
times. That's maybe too much.
Yeah, 'cause that's
And
a
day.
big-
Yeah.
You can't do
Three,
that.
that's
You
more.
I'm happy when he jacking off. You want it
You
5
can't
6 times a day.
do
Well, he wanted-
you know, a
how
lot of
many
guys,
times you
a
were
lot of
saying
guys
that?
lie on the
One time.
performance
Yeah.
of their penis
I'm dropping that.
We know
because
that.
it's been times where after having sex for a nice period of time before I you know I release myself, it's like dead. It's like that. It's like you eat a hamburger. You be craving a hamburger. As soon as you finish, you be like, I just ate that nasty motherfucker.
I don't think I've ever felt like that after I ain't got enough.
Yeah.
But no, not for men. For men, no, for men.
You said I shouldn't have got that
No,
nut?
what I'm trying to say is a lot of
I know
people,
what you
a
mean.
lot of men
It's
say
like
they
when
jerk
you've
off
been
6, 7 times.
chasing a girl for so
You
long
cannot-
and
a
you
man's-
finally get
a
it.
man's
It's not
penis-
what you want, what you thought it was gonna
Yeah.
be.
Look,
Said that?
a man's penis will not recuperate for multiple rounds that many times in a day. Is what I'm trying to tell you.
Oh, okay.
That's with them.
Unless you have
If you get
The
good
second and
four,
third
Yeah.
time,
and you
then
get
it's
4,
part.
Yeah.
Not the first time.
That's what he was
the
talking
second
about,
time.
the
Yeah,
swish and
the
all
third
of
time.
that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Unless you.
Andre, let me answer Stefan's question, because once again, I never called anybody, but I'm more or less like Tasha. I'm trying to figure out what it, but it all depends on why, because I've never called anybody, but I'm going to be more or less concerned about the circumstances surrounding why he is masturbating. Like, did we just have sex and you done took your ass in the bathroom and you went to go handle it again? Like, I would feel like I ain't doing my job at that point. But if it's on another note where he just said that the dude doing it 5 to 6 times a day, then I mean he got a whole nother issue going on than me. So I probably won't
5 or
necessarily
6
take
times
it
a day.
personal, but you know, if you feel, I would say this because I won't have a problem with the dude handling himself.
Right.
If you feel like it's something, only time I don't get concerned is if you feel like it's something that you will want me to do that I'm not
That you're
doing,
not doing.
and that's
Yeah.
motivation to
Yeah.
you to carry your behind in there and handle yourself. That I would
Exactly.
do.
That's
Now,
why I
now,
said what I said initially. I'm sorry,
Oh, that's
Tasha.
okay,
I mean,
Nope.
but that's what I was saying
No.
initially. That
Hold on.
would be the only reason that I would probably, you know what I'm saying, be upset because I need to know if it was done because I wasn't performing or doing what I need to do to sexually, you know, satisfy you. So
So you compare that with in the lines of cheating?
no,
If you find out he's doing it because of this or that?
No.
Doing it with himself.
Yeah.
no.
No.
You better
But
do
I
that.
have a
before
question.
you go some goddamn
Yeah.
body.
You'd rather
I have
that
a-
for sure.
Yeah,
statement
because I done
today.
had a. Go ahead, tell me.
While we were staying on that same lines, and we were saying that it bothered us. It seemed like it's bothering the way you were saying. Kiana was saying that it was bothering you that your man was pleasuring himself after you have sex. Do you know how many women pleasure themselves after they done had
Yeah,
sex
'cause
with
I
their
think it's
mate
more
because he
men
ain't
than
get it
women.
right?
Yeah, it's
Because
more
I'm
women
saying
than-
go left and you saying going right.
If a man do that, it's
Listen
something
to
wrong.
me.
Yeah.
Because
This
I
is
know.
my body.
Yeah.
If a man do that after sex, it's something wrong.
More women do it because the men, those
I'm
type of
not
men are selfish
kidding.
or underexperienced.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to.
I guess that's a goddamn great ass point, Keisha.
Yeah,
Mhm.
definitely.
It is.
That
That's a great ass
definitely.
point.
Yeah, it is.
But definitely, I mean, I wouldn't think that most men are doing that unless y'all motherfuckers lying, because sex normally ends with y'all finishing. You know what I'm saying? So if we ain't get we ain't catch no orgasm, we ain't get no nut, then we the ones who normally hand it on the back
So
end.
your percentage of that happening after sex is way greater than men.
Yeah.
Right.
And you be like, oh baby, that was so good. I'm gonna take a shower right now. You go in there,
Right. Exactly.
this is what I'm looking for.
And they said that it's statistically.
But y'all love them. You're not gonna just.
Mhm.
But you have to love their,
You
you have to love their faults
you
and their
gonna
flaws.
him because his sex ain't good.
No. We already had
Some
that.
people
We
do
conversated
it.
about that.
Oh,
No,
my
I
bad.
said
This
about
was last
that.
week. This was last week. I didn't went back to last
No,
week.
it all depends on the circumstances surrounding whether or not somebody will leave them if, sex ain't necessarily
It's been nice.
Because
My
it's
wife
other
used to be
things
like,
that
let's
you
just masturbate in front of each other.
Dude,
Let's do
you're gonna
one.
have to wait one at a time.
Oh, I'm sorry.
She needs to be the director. She needs to be the
That's
He's
not
cutting
correct.
everybody else. He's not trying to finish his
I'm not saying nothing else.
Yeah.
They gonna
Just hold
tackle
on.
it.
Look, you know I'm Miss Nice over here. I was trying to tell her, but
Right. Yeah.
Couldn't get it out. Couldn't get it out.
it's okay, bro. You like to talk. That's why you on the show.
Right.
We on the show because we all like to talk.
I'm not coming back.
Yes, you are. Don't say that. Don't do that. We just like structure because we got people
unfold your hand.
watching. I'm saying
Look,
exactly.
and
We got,
I got so comfortable, I forgot we was recording.
yeah, we got people watching and they have to
Yeah.
hear what we're saying. So
Yeah.
if we talking all at
Sorry,
one time,
sorry, folks.
I'm good care.
Apologize.
A motherfucker apologize. But they were saying statistically, because y'all know I get real with these words, so help me out if I'm pronouncing it correctly. They said that it's a lot of women who do not catch an orgasm from vaginal intercourse.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was
Where they get it
It's a
from?
lot
You
of
didn't know.
faking.
See?
I said that.
yeah.
When they're getting it from their
So
own
they're doing it
self.
from their
Their
getting it
own
from
Kind of what
their
I was saying
self.
earlier that is being done afterwards, after the sex has taken
They go
place,
ahead
they
and
go
handle
ahead and they handle that.
Because they know their body better than you. And I think some women just don't know because they've never experienced it. So some women think that they have had it, the experience, but they haven't. But regardless of that, I feel like it's just a conversation that needs to be had. Because when you don't know your body or you don't know her body, then somebody ain't getting off.
That's right.
Learn your woman's body.
Right.
Learn
And you
your
learn your
man's
man's
body.
body. So you can have great sex together.
Not just okay sex.
And he over here having good sex.
It'll be less you over there handling you.
Be like euphoria. Fireworks.
So Kiana said, Akila said that she agreed with your comment, what you said, Kiana. But it's not that a woman knows her body more than the guy does. May not know what it takes to make herself come either. But what everybody else said was also true. You get to figure it out.
Exactly.
That's exactly what it is.
Exactly.
You're exploring your body.
Right.
You're exploring your
You
body
don't know
and
what it
seeing
feel
what's
like to
making
come
right.
until
It's
you
making-
come.
what makes
Until you
feel
come.
good. And you're
Let
like,
it come
oh, that's
before.
it. That's what's
That's
up.
good.
Oh, I like that.
Right.
Oh, do it again.
But most women don't tell y'all. That's why you had that dumbfounded look on your face.
I never had that dumb
You just had it. If I could rewind,
Rewind.
you had it. They
What did I have?
when they was telling you that some women, most women actually, they go
Don't
in
do
the
it.
bathroom and pleasure themselves after the act. After you done got your nut and you sleeping over the snoring, guess what she
We'll
doing?
get it from intercourse.
So
I never experienced that. I'm not gonna lie. I'm
But
not
you
trying
don't
to
know
say
that.
I'm
It's
shit
not- it's
big.
nothing-
She lied. She
She
lied.
did?
She lied.
probably, most likely.
Probably.
I'm telling you, she lied.
Probably because it's more women. The statistic that you should have found was that it's more women than not.
Yep.
But what about that all the time she never got up?
And we ain't trying to say that when you have a woman who do
not-
not,
you know.
who is not lying to you, because you just described a woman who's had an orgasm with the shaking and all of that is where old boy back there in the background saying, and that is most likely an experience of someone who had an orgasm.
Or again,
but
somebody
if-
faking.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. And if they have experienced it and they just trying to make you feel good, then
They gonna
we
shake.
gonna
They
fake
make
shake.
it feel. They gonna make
They
you
gonna
think.
fake shake.
Extra.
Why is
or
that?
Extra
I don't know. Maybe they
To
not
make you
comfortable with
feel
her.
good. To make you feel like you doing what you
I
said.
think he's more or less saying about why
The
she
sex
won't
baby.
tell me what to do so I can make it real.
But that's if he really wants to know. So would you rather her just tell you, hey, I ain't getting none?
Hell yeah, so I can
you
learn
know
some
what to
shit.
do.
Okay, but you willing to learn. See, some people are not willing to learn.
But I never-
Rona, we're supposed to be practicing social distancing. Y'all see how close we is. I hope the co-hosts don't come in here.
Let me put it on.
Everybody's sanitized on their way
We
in.
sanitize on our way in. We sanitizing now.
Well, it's too late. If y'all got it, I got it. Y'all got it. We all.
Nobody
fine.
coughing, nobody got a
We
fever.
straight.
Y'all good.
All right,
But black
so
people don't.
get to them papers.
We
What
got
y'all
them
got?
good.
I wanted to talk.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I wanted to. I don't think we say what the masturbation was. How do you masturbate?
Were you talking about different methods of
The
masturbating?
different methods of masturbating. What is masturbating? Is touching your genitals?
We already talked about
We
that.
already
Tony
You
talked about that?
You didn't talk about how.
Tasha, you on the same show?
Listen, excuse me. Did we talk about how? Did you say you could circle it or
No,
touch
no,
it
that's
or
do all
squeeze
that.
it?
Do all that. Do all that.
So
I'm sorry.
Squeeze it.
Yeah. tapping.
No, we didn't say different ways that you can
methods
masturbate.
of.
Different ways that you can masturbate. That's what you're
Yes,
going into.
yes.
Yeah, go
That there are
ahead.
different ways that they can masturbate.
Tap into that.
Did you know men can masturbate by?
Oh, that's funny.
It was
funny
funny.
thing.
When they call it urethral play.
What is that? What the frick?
Urethral play.
That master you
Where you're inserting a thermometer
No.
into the top of the head of the penis. What is that area called?
The
That's
urethra
called-
is where the pee
Urethra
comes
is where the
from.
pee comes
That
from.
shit-
So they're inserting things into that hole.
No, that shit hurt like a
And
motherfucker.
And they getting pleasure from
And
it.
they're getting extreme pleasure from that.
See, those are
It's one of the-
weirdos.
This
That's
is
a different type of pleasure that motherfucker.
That's a
like,
different type of
hey,
This
pleasure.
was a different masturbation.
But
Where we were
once
going
again,
because we're
they
not
got
ruling
the-
anybody's ways and
Yeah.
methods out.
Yeah.
I'm just bringing
Let's
you
talk about traditional
what we
masturbation.
researched.
Crazy people.
That's kind of digital. If he uses a digital thermometer to insert in his
This shit
urethra.
hurts.
Yeah.
Hurts you.
It
It
hurts.
pleasures him.
See, that's a mental. That's mental masturbation.
Well,
He's a freak.
Tasha,
It-
can you
it-
hear me
it's-
that down over there while you talking?
I'm not doing that.
also that And for women,
Chapstick.
most women use. Did we get to women with their
Hammer
fingers,
time.
either your index or your middle finger?
They got
The whole
specific
side of
fingers.
your
You
hand.
can't use your pinky.
This is what I heard.
We
This is what I
listening.
researched. Yes.
You did your
And you can
research
do
on it.
stimulation. You can reach your G spot.
Uh-huh.
Those are the techniques and things that you can do to manipulate.
You use those now?
You all nailed the reach.
Well, Tosh, I got something. Let me get your phone. The links that I sent you, we're gonna have because
Yeah. I'm putting
we
up
did a-
links in the right.
we did some research on some of the things that can help you guys. Some people who may be interested in learning how to masturbate because they feel like it's okay, but they may not necessarily know different methods and different ways to go about it, may not necessarily know their own body. So we have some links that we're going to place in the comments where they're going to show you how to get to know your body. That's for men and women. We're also going to put some information in there as far as some different methods, with different areas that you can go to for masturbation. There's also different toys that you can use for men and women.
Mm-hmm.
So you're encouraging masturbation?
I'm not I just said for people who are interested in
I
it.
just
People who
wanted to
don't want to do that,
That's
they don't
everybody
do it.
then.
By all means,
Don't do it.
That's everybody.
don't
Yeah.
damn do it.
Yeah.
And let's get into that. While Tosh looking for those links, 'cause I was going to get, to some other stuff because we do, I don't know about you, but I know all three of these women up here have definitely had some religious,
Upbringing.
correct.
Yeah, I was born and raised Jehovah's Witness.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
From birth till I was 13 years old.
So they didn't think that it was okay. So did they
No,
feel
they
like it
shouldn't
was
have
a sin?
pun- yeah, they
Yeah.
shouldn't have upon it.
And I think
I was raised that even thinking nasty thoughts is a sin. So it was
Yeah.
it was instilled in me. So I had a guilty conscience.
Yeah, well that is too. Well, yeah, I was taught the same thing as well as him.
Absolutely.
So we were saying, in Christianity or whatever type of religion that you're in, is it considered a sin to actually masturbate? What are the comments really, Keisha?
I mean, from what I think it is. They believe in it. That's what
Do
they
you
teach.
think it's a sin?
No,
Do you think it's a sin?
no, I don't think it's a sin.
I don't think it's a sin.
Taj, do you think it's a sin?
Be honest.
I'll be honest. I'm waiting for my
Bless
answer.
you.
I got her. Get some more stuff.
Here, take this.
Well, since
lipstick.
y'all taking a moment.
I
Okay, go ahead.
Yes or no?
I used to believe it was. I used to believe it was a sin to pleasure oneself, and you had a mate. I did. We did. Yes.
Yeah. I used to think it was a sin.
Mhm.
Have you ever felt guilty
I felt guilty
after?
I felt bad. I wanted to know why. If it was bad, why is the devil using me?
Why, if it's bad, why it feels so good?
That's what I was about
Right,
to
because
say.
the devil uses everybody. But
He does use everybody, but you were asking me about my experience, and that was my experience. That's why I felt guilty, because I thought the way that in the community that I was growing up in and the church that we went to and attended, it was frowned upon. So of course, if my body desired that, and I felt the need to give my body what it wanted, it's a sin. Yes.
Yeah, I think the Christianity
And there was
religion-
much guilt from that. And
Yeah.
I would pray and try to.
And not only, I don't think just the religious aspect of it. I also think, like, culturally, I think that as a culture, I think that we frowned upon it. We considered it back then, anyways. When I was growing up, as nasty. You know, we looked at it as, ooh, that's nasty.
Perverted.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely that.
Well, why do y'all think that is? Because it seems like back in the day, a lot of stuff that what they would say women should not do is why a lot of stuff is frowned upon. Like we shouldn't be having multiple sex partners. We shouldn't be having sex before marriage. Should be having these kids and you're not married. You're not supposed to be pleasing yourself. You're not supposed to initiate sex. You ain't supposed to talk about like all of that stuff. So is it all from the Bible or is it just from generation to generation?
I think it's from generation to generation, and I think it initially starts from I think it stems from the religious aspect of it.
From the Romans. They were the freakiest people ever. They had orgies back before Christ days. 1814 BC.
They behind us too.
The Romans, they created that freakiness.
I think it initially started from the religious aspect of it, and then it was kind of transitioned from generation to generation to generation. And then, of course, it became a learned behavior. You know what I'm saying? It was frowned upon in our community, so we stopped. I mean, I would never thought I would find myself having a conversation openly about masturbation back then. Now,
yeah, it's no shame to it anymore.
Right? It's no shame.
There's nothing to it now. It's the norm.
It's a lot of
I
things.
think that we have become a little bit more accepting of each other's personal being, to be honest with you. And I don't know whether it's a spiritual, more or less on the spiritual self, because I don't want to use the word fault, because if I say fault, then that would mean that masturbation is a sin. So I don't necessarily think that, but I definitely believe that we become a little bit more accepting of who you are as an individual collectively. So I think that that's why people are less shameful of the stuff that they were shameful of back in the day.
And I also want to add to that, because I think it's more also that we're no longer just accepting what we were taught. You know, we are now looking further into it. Okay, is this, you know what I'm saying? Is this real? You know, so back in the day, right? Back in the day, we would just accept. What was taught to us, and we'll just continue along with that. But even now with the generation these days, they ain't finna just accept what was taught. I have to overtalk him, because if he cuts me off, it lose my train of thought, and my train of thought won't come back.
It's just how he looked at you like.
I know what you're doing now.
I know, but my train of thought, like, I have to get loud because my train of thought was. Yeah, I'm sorry.
My bad. I'm not doing it again, but
You're doing great.
You're doing absolutely fine. But yeah, I just have to do that because, you know what I'm saying, like, lose my thought, I'll be like, finish. I didn't lost my thought.
Oh, right. What you was gonna say? You lost your thought?
You lost his thought.
Well, I also believe that nowadays, because you got this, Instagram video messenger, you got FaceTime, and then a lot of people are doing fucking video sex. That's just watching each other masturbate, getting off on each other. So it's a lot more that's encouraging people to do it, or there's no more shame to it, to the point where.
So I was going to get into a little bit more details as far as to, like, how are we handling the shut-in? Because you have a lot of people who are in relationships. Of course, they're housing together. Then you have people who are in relationships, but yet they're in single homes. And then, I mean, you just have people who are single. But I wanted to make sure that we make sure that we touch base with everything. Because you have single people who are just single because they just decided to not be in a relationship. But you also have single people who are consider themselves celibate. So I wanted to kind of touch bases with all of those things, because, you know, we can get a little carried away when we start conversating about certain things. So I wanted to kind of structure it a little bit so that way everybody can give their opinion on all of the topics. What you gotta say?
So before you segue into that particular comment, just stepping back just a little bit on what y'all were just talking about as far as single. So Akemia said, she was basically saying that it's in the Bible that it's a sin to masturbate.
Put that scripture in the comments.
I asked that, I did. But she was posing it as a question. It just didn't come off as a question. Okay. She just thinks that she remembers it saying something about lusting after yourself is what she was saying about that. And then she called out Brother Greg and asked him if it was true, which is extremely freaking funny. So
We'll come back
And
to
Xavier
that.
just said all you need is a little bit of Jergens, so you know you go on ahead and take care of that.
Jergens.
So with it being said, like what scripture? Because
Yeah.
you know some people will try to point out a scripture and
Yeah.
just say, "Hey, this
Point
is what
that
they was
out.
talking about."
Yeah, because we kind of briefly chatted about that a little bit when it comes to the religious aspect of it is because some people do believe that it's a sin. Not because there is a particular scripture that is in the Bible that says masturbation is a sin. I think it's more or less that they look at it. Well, I think it's more than one thing, but I'll give you one of those things. When they say that sex is created for marriage, you know what I'm saying? So people will use that type of thing to make you believe that self-satisfaction is definitely
It's out of the question.
yeah, it's definitely not okay to do that because that's what you have your mate for. So that's why a lot of people may think that it's not okay because people have been taught that way. But I mean, how you can do no better till you don't know better, right? I guess.
Right.
What about the
Exactly.
wasted nut?
Oh yeah,
I mean,
that
yeah,
also
we've
that
heard
scripture
that.
too, the wasted nut scripture.
I think that's more. I mean, because the women are nutting just like the men are nutting. So, I mean, the wasted nut more or less comes from the man's side because that is where the seed is coming from the male's perspective. I mean, so once again, you can't just tell everybody know anything. 'Cause you can't tell me know anything.
That's what goes back to. That's what I was gonna say. Even with this today's generation, I really have to commend them because today's generation do not just tolerate you telling them anything. They're gonna go and look to make
they
sure.
challenge you.
Right, they will challenge you. You know,
better
they
believe
going
it.
back and forth with you because we growing up just took whatever our parents said and we ran with it. You know, we didn't go back, and it's not until now we like, wait a minute.
Some ain't right.
Some
Some ain't
ain't
lying.
right.
They brainwashed us.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I feel like it. I feel like
I don't know if it's the brainwashing.
It's a form
I just
of
think
it.
that when
Well,
your mom tell
it
you
is,
no, you
right.
just believe that it's okay because my mama told me no, then it's no. But once you begin to live, this is thing called life. You know what I'm saying? You begin to experience things on your own journey.
Yeah.
So you begin to say, oh, well, wait a minute. It ain't me that my mama said. It ain't my
And I'm gonna look into
see it
it
the next
see
time.
that.
And then sex is not. It wasn't just for marriage. It's also to procreate. And Zaboy just touched on that. It's for procreation.
Right.
But he also said he sins every morning.
Every morning day.
The Lord said, "Be fruitful and multiply." Zaboy. So we're gonna need you to just find
You wasting
somebody.
all
that-
the
Wait, wasting
nuts.
the nuts.
You wasted all the nut over there. So let's get into the single and celibate person. Do you believe? Because well, first of all, what is celibacy? That's a person who's kind of practicing abstinence from marriage
sex.
And does
sex.
masturbation
From
count
sex.
towards
From
celibacy?
That's what I was saying. So
No.
is it okay? It shouldn't even be okay for that person to masturbate if you're practicing abstinence.
Yeah, it's a form of
So
sex.
that's to abstain from sex.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
masturbation is a form of
It's a
sex.
form
So
of sexual
no
gratification.
masturbation should be allowed during celibacy.
I'm not gonna be the judge to
I'm
tell
just-
you, honey, you can't do that.
Well,
if that's
absolutely.
what
No,
you
look. No. Celibacy said this is what they
Well,
practicing.
they're
That's what
abstaining.
we're saying.
Right. Okay.
So it ain't
So,
you telling nobody this is what they
abstinence-
decided.
Means to abstain from sex.
Yes.
Stop doing it.
Well, we ain't trying to tell you that, but we're just saying that that's what you're
That's
doing.
what you're doing.
And that's not
That
included
was
in
the
celibacy. So that's why,
Again,
like, when we
These
was
are just our
discussing it,
views. These are our opinions.
like when me and Kiana was discussing
This is a
the
chapter
topic,
for
she
you.
was saying like, so are they really celibate if they masturbating?
No.
Correct. Is
No.
what I'm saying. Take that celibacy off there, and now we're gonna go to the single comment because you are in the single category.
Right.
You just ain't got a man.
When people try to be celibate, that's what they're trying to do. Abstain
Exactly.
from the man.
Abstain from the
Not
man.
really abstain from the actual sexual act.
acts. Yeah.
Exactly. So
They're
you
gonna
you
You can be
decide-
celibate, but you also can buy a bit.
Oh,
You can celibate but buy a bit.
you can buy. You missed that. That one on your
Celibate and buy a bit.
Buy a bit.
Didn't need it, but okay. All right, so let's go to the single category.
Let's go to it.
What about it?
Swallow.
Right.
I don't swallow.
That's another
And
thing.
I said it.
Y'all taking this show.
I'm sorry, I got so many notes here. Let me find it.
Okay. We got 5 minutes. Five.
This is my fault. I apologize. Oh, this is my first time.
Find your
But I
way.
promise you, if I come back, y'all hear from me
It'll be right.
when I'm being spoken to.
Gotcha.
I'm not going to interrupt. I'm sorry.
You are
You're
forgiven
welcome to
and
come back.
it's
Right,
good.
and this is
It's
all
good.
good.
I enjoyed it. It's nice.
They appreciate all the yes.
We
They
do. Every
Thank
last
you.
one
Thank
of
you
them.
for coming.
We never had a guest that ain't coming back. You the first.
So since y'all searching for the next comment, Akila Weeks would like y'all to make sure that y'all touch on good potions and things like that to masturbate with, such as lotions or oils, things like that.
Absolutely, Keila. We actually, in the links that we're going to place in the comments, we're
I've
going
already
to
placed
give
them
you
in
all
there.
of that information.
Natasha
Things that you
put
can use
some
on
in
your
there.
toys or
I'll
things
put
that you
some.
can use
Right.
with your mate. I honestly
I
can't find-
definitely agree, Keila. Always use anything that is FDA approved.
I don't want to be walking around here with no yeasty.
It's
Please.
Right.
Yeah, you have to definitely make sure you're using the proper stuff.
Let's listen. So
Yeah, it's
while
fun.
Tanya was yeah, because that's where I was going
Way
now.
over there.
Right. Because I was going back to techniques and positions and things.
Yeah, you have to think that.
Do you?
Go ahead.
Okay.
I was way over there, but go ahead.
Sorry.
So, is there a time that you feel you need to set a mood when you have masturbate?
That was the you had a question from the audience. He was just asking
that's what
that.
I was listening to.
Do y'all dim the
So
lights
y'all was
down?
on
Yeah, do you
Y'all
set the
turn on
mood,
music?
burn
Do y'all
certain
put yourself
music?
flowers and stuff like that?
Turn-
Do y'all take the time to prep it and
What?
then fall in love with it
Some
too?
people
Do you?
Wow.
He's talking about
No, I know.
Oh.
Do you?
For some people.
You
For some people, you talking about for
I
some
said
people
for you.
with sex, we're having sex with them, or for some people
No,
that's
it's
just
personal
having.
pleasure. Like,
Personal, so
when
you ready to
when-
masturbate,
when
you
when you
finna
masturbate, do you
Yeah.
dim the
Set the
lights down?
mood.
turn on
Do
the
you
music,
like set your own
find the
candles?
porn,
you
which
know?
site you finna go to,
Yeah.
which one you go.
Uh-uh.
You don't do that.
It's like-
I'm listening to her. I
It's
just
just-
pre-answered.
right,
So you,
so-
so you don't love yourself that much.
No
then.
candles, no mood, no scented oils, no fresh shower.
You just raw.
Oh my gosh!
She just get it
That's
over
so
with.
nasty.
It's a wham bam thank
See,
you
that-
ma'am
there you
versus
go with that
like
nasty
love
stuff.
making to
That's
yourself.
so nasty.
Yeah, so to answer the question, you
Tosh
have to say
said
yes.
yes.
Some
Yes.
people do that.
Yeah,
Set
you
the
can
So
do.
she said yes. She said no.
Set the mood.
No.
I mean, it depends with me. Like, you know, sometimes, you know, if I'm in a rush, I ain't got the time, you know, just put that down. Thank you.
But do
man.
you think
Or
more people do that because they're
No.
lonely, or
No.
like why you do that?
He
I
wants
do that because
I know, I'm
it's the
struggling.
time and the moment.
It's finna go
Alright.
down.
Okay.
If I had a hard day, I working or whatever
I
it
get it.
is,
That hard
and
day.
now you know
I
get
get it.
home,
Yeah.
and this hand tell me one time, hey, what's up?
I get
may
it.
dim the
I
lights.
get it.
I may, you know, turn on a video.
Mhm.
I
I
get
may
it.
put on the camera some music,
Yeah.
Who
and
you?
it gets on and popping.
We don't shame people.
We don't shame people for their
It never crossed your mind. So you're one of the people who just gonna get it over with. Just
You don't use lotion or
I
oil?
use
Is it the spray
Vaseline.
bottle? Like what?
I use
That shit
baby
ain't
oil before. Keeps it nice and shiny.
I'm about to say, because if you just raw dog, then.
And then I use
that shit hurts.
I use health products. My dick skin is smooth.
but you trying to get it over with, or you just trying to make love
Cause
to
this is
yourself.
a move.
What's
No,
all the
no,
females
I'm trying to
now?
get it over with.
Do
Is
y'all
it a
girls
whole
after y'all
atmosphere?
But
go
it
to do
depends
that,
on
do
if
y'all
I'm
fall
at work.
asleep?
Let's say you could be at
Hold
work.
on,
You could be at
Hold
work.
on. That's the second question. Everybody has not answered this question. Did everybody answer this question?
You could be
No,
at, you
no.
could be at work thinking about it all day, and you just build it up. You can't wait to get home. 'Cause
Right.
You're horny,
To a private area.
and then you start thinking, this time I'm gonna do this. You know what? I'm gonna do it in the bathtub. I shave this motherfucker.
This motherfucker.
I need 37 bubbles. And
Y'all don't be thinking about that?
You know,
Yeah.
it
Like, do
depends.
y'all treat yourself out on masturbation like
I
that?
just do.
I never did it
She
before.
do.
That's
I
fine.
said,
I'm gonna have
I didn't say
37
she
bubbles.
Y'all never prick yourself. Let me
Bubbles.
shave you down real quick. Let me go in there and get them right.
Yes, yes, yes.
No. To answer
Oh,
your
my God.
question.
Her
I never
answer
did
is
it.
Do
no.
that
Her
set,
answer is
no
no.
nerve
Her answer is
mood,
no.
no nothing. Like, no. Now, what I will do is to make sure.
You just thought I could use the pillow and go to sleep.
Listen. I was
No.
going to say your name, but I don't know if you want to be
No.
incognito, baby.
Right.
But like I was saying, no, I don't. I
Exactly.
definitely do not set a mood. I don't dim no lights. I don't put on no slow music because I'm not making love to myself. What I'm trying to do is to get that urge knocked
just
off.
trying to get it over
inside.
with.
Get it
Exactly.
over
So I don't sit around
That's
and just
okay.
have the
That's
constant
right.
thought
Right.
of wanting this particular
Right.
pleasure
Right.
out the way. But I will make sure that ain't nobody in my, like by my room because I mean I get a little nosy
Get a
even
little
by
vocal.
myself.
A little
Just saying.
vocal.
So if
Well,
any
vocal.
preparation is done now, I mean, I do masturbate on a clean twat. I do that. You know, I ain't
So you take a
masturbating.
bath
I just come out for work. I do that. It. I'm just saying.
So,
Wait, before, because Kiana didn't get a chance.
Kiana wants to comment on that.
I
Okay.
said no. I didn't really go into detail,
I didn't hear
but
you.
yeah,
Just
I
no.
said no. Well, she
Okay.
was talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I said no, I don't do that either. I think it's pretty much like what she was saying as far as like, you know, setting the mood. I'm not trying to, you know what I'm saying, make love to myself. Like, it's not about making love, it's just trying to, you know what I'm saying, get that pleasure.
On that ear though.
Yeah. Just I feel that
I think
moment.
it just depends on what you're missing. So if you just missing getting the nut because maybe you not received it from your partner or yourself or whatever, you're just trying to get that off. But if you're missing that emotional connection or that intimacy or that love, then
That's
you
good.
would be lighting
The
candles and doing all that
because
stuff.
you wanted to do all that.
Yeah, you might even
So,
grab a
yeah.
teddy bear to take the place of the partner. I mean, you doing what you gotta do. That's a need that women have, though, Tanya. You can't just say.
We don't shame people here.
That's right. We don't shame.
Sorry, we do not do that here.
Thank you for correcting her, but that is true. You can't.
That's
We
right.
love you
You
guys.
might not be in need of that though. Somebody else might be in need of that.
We're
So
gonna have to talk after this.
with that being said,
said,
Zayboy says masturbation will keep you from sleeping with the wrong person. I wouldn't just say the wrong person. I would just say another person maybe.
right.
And then Kimi said, don't even worry about them lubricants and stuff. Just use spit. It's natural. But if you got gingivitis, Kimi, you probably don't want to be using your spit. But
Use FDA approved sex toys.
and they don't sell spit in the jar,
They
right?
don't sell
Yeah,
spit in the jar. They don't sell that. Keela be sex. I'm sorry.
That's about what she said.
So Kimi agrees with you. Tanya, she
He's
agrees
saying-
with you. She was just saying the whole love making that she just
Yeah, because
she said fuck the candles, where's her dildo? Is
Yeah.
what she said.
I said
Well, that's
I
just
was
another
that
person's
extra
opinion,
intimate
just like
stuff
you were
for
saying.
where y'all want.
I think that making love is for your partner.
Yeah.
But when you gotta get that shit off, it's not about
Masturbation.
I see.
Let me knock that edge off real quick. So
I just want to let y'all know. that
Hey, can I
y'all
ask you a
time,
question? Can I say one question? Can I ask you a question?
absolutely.
How many people do you think statistically masturbates at their job?
but-
Hey,
Job.
Yeah.
Oh, you know
You
what?
got to be one of them.
No.
At your
Just
job.
10% maybe.
No, I would
Not on the regular, but have done it. Maybe
Yeah.
once. Have you?
or even in
Well,
a, even
don't you work
even in
construction?
a,
Hold on, one at a time.
He going
Okay.
to quarter pipe.
or even in a fitting
Hey,
room,
you know what?
even in a fitting
No,
room.
they need to.
You work in construction?
No, they talking. They talking.
They being rude.
We don't. We don't.
We don't
Well,
judge.
we do
We
not
don't
shame
shame. There you
people.
go.
Right.
But I think it's more than, who said 10%?
I ain't saying nothing.
I said
I'm waiting to
10%.
hear. I'm waiting to hear what he had to say.
What
No, because there was a guy got fired for doing that.
You're supposed to be directing that.
She's the director. I'm being
Hey, hold on, because we still live.
We still
We'll
live.
mind your comments and your questions, but they just have to be incorporated strategically and making sure that everybody is heard. So do y'all have something to say before he adds his comment?
Thank you.
They're shy.
That's quickie back there. Wait, go ahead.
No, it's just been a thought in my
I'm waiting to
mind
jump in.
since like 2008 because in Detroit where I'm from, a guy got fired for doing that in the bathroom stall. And it made me always think, like, people really masturbate at work? What the hell is going on?
I guess
But-
you gotta release when you gotta.
Just like some
release.
people,
You
if
said
you go on YouTube, if you go on like the porn sites or whatnot, you can actually type in whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
Females masturbating in cars. You got girls in the bank line doing it. You got girls in the car wash doing it. See if she can come before the car wash is over.
Yeah, but that's
I mean,
porn. That's for
I understand
entertainment
that, but
purposes.
people watch porns and they get
But
that idea in their head. So I wonder how many
But
people.
they do have the, because you know they got so many instruments that we can use nowadays. And they have the panties that you can use where, you know,
They
or
made
their
those
instruments
products for on the
rockets.
go.
But that's what I'm saying. So you might, that
That's
might
for
be,
the purpose of
might be.
it. I think it's more than 10%.
But are they doing it for their own pleasure? Or are they doing it for likes? Like, I mean, really?
What do you mean,
Good for
like?
likes. Well, Tasha
Because
said
if
that's
he
more than
can pull it up and if he
That's
can Google
porn.
it,
That's
But
what
that's
I
just
said.
it doesn't matter. If you can pull it up and watch it happening,
yeah.
You try it.
she's obviously doing it for some
Yeah,
likes or
that's
some
porn.
views. But how many people are not doing that? Because that would have never crossed my mind.
I don't think
While I'm in the
I
car
ain't let
wash.
this child
Like,
say-
I
like,
didn't know people were doing that.
Okay.
Like, there could be
Did you have
cases
a
where
comment you would like
Give
to
a
make?
comment.
Not on that particular.
Well, what was your comment you like to make?
I didn't have one yet. I'm waiting to get in. I'm
Oh, he gonna
Oh,
be
yeah.
alright.
You like jumping, but you wait. You wait.
I mean, because you got to think about it. When you have these people in these corporate offices, and you have a secretary who busts her ass all the time for her boss. He stresses her out, and she needs a stress reliever.
Yeah.
And she's
Yeah.
in mid-shift. It's like 12:30 in the afternoon, right after lunch break. She just come back from lunch. She frustrated. She go in there and she wipe one off just because it's a stress
That's
reliever.
the type of frustration she gets.
You never know.
You
It's
never
sexual frustration.
Could
You
be.
think her
It
arguing
could be.
ass boss in there is making her sexually frustrated?
Right.
No, it's
That's a
not
no.
making
It's not-
her
she know how to
sexual
relieve
stress.
stress.
She's
She know how
got
to-
so
That's
much
how she
stress.
relieves
People
her
use
stress.
it medically
That's
now. They do it so much
My lord.
that they know how to constantly on the
There's a
gun.
I get it. I
Whatever.
this is
different
I
things.
different strokes for different folks.
Right.
You're right.
With no
Yeah,
judgment
yeah.
in here. It's definitely
New.
new to me.
It's
It's
new.
new.
Yeah. It's the new.
It's new to me. I'm all the way good. I mean, don't they got stress relieving balls and all of that?
That don't
Y'all
work
got
no more.
stress
I got two of them.
That don't work no more. They use
Y'all
the new.
taking y'all balls on your breath.
You gotta do it like this.
Y'all got anything else?
Yeah, we should be pretty much
Yeah, we
good. I
good.
think we're done.
You sure y'all
we done
touched
covered it, so we gonna
I don't
get
think
some.
we touched on everything.
No,
Well,
because
we
of me.
did
I
have a touch.
apologize. I'm sorry.
Tasha, you have something else you want
Well,
to
I'm
touch on
just
before
saying,
we
you know,
close?
I'm going back to the beginning where we were touching and rubbing. Do you stand up? Do you stand up? Will you
I gotta
masturbate?
sit down.
I gotta
gotta
sit
sit
down.
down.
Or lay
It's their
on my
preference.
back.
Do you lay on your back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lay on
So
your
she
back?
wanted to get into the ways to
Because there are ways that you can do it. Standing up, kneeling,
You
squat.
can do it in the
That
shower.
much, you know,
You sit
you
in the
know,
chair, lay on the couch, on your back.
That
He said it-
sensation when I'm standing up, it doesn't. No, I gotta lay down.
You gotta lay down.
I
You gotta
sit
lay down and sit down.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, with
Sir.
a laptop or a cell phone.
Lay down,
Or
stand
might
up,
be-
sit
But are you
down.
watching porn?
Or it's just a mental thing.
And you can think
So are you
about having
sitting
sex
or
with your
standing?
wife just yesterday.
Whatever. Sitting, standing, riding the
It don't
bike,
matter.
riding the bus.
It
I
don't
know that.
Okay,
You might.
It's been
I have a
times.
preference.
It's whatever you,
Hold on.
whatever you visualizing in your mind when you doing what you do. You know,
Yeah.
you might want to live out the
Yeah.
the visualization of what you
The
do.
visualizations.
If that's a word.
That
Yeah,
visualization. You got something
There you
definitely
go.
going on
That's
in right
Right,
there.
right. It is. I like the way
I
it is.
agree.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the way it gets that. Yes, visualization.
Did
Yeah,
you want to
I
talk about any more
personally- I
demonstrations?
personally
Fingers,
prefer
toes,
to-
candlesticks, pickles in a condom, anything.
Yeah, I saw a post that they're
Pickles
using
and condom?
pickles and condoms,
Cucumbers.
cucumbers,
Oh,
corn,
yeah.
Just stupid.
spaghetti,
Carrots,
Sausage,
bananas.
sausage.
raw.
Peas,
Did you say
rice.
spaghetti?
Yeah,
Spaghetti.
it was spaghetti.
It was
I've
just
seen
spaghetti.
with
Spaghetti.
hairbrushers.
You talking about
Spaghettios.
the raw?
No.
SpaghettiOs
They're putting
in the
cooked spaghettis
condom.
in the condom.
Okay, so
Pickles.
everybody's becoming very creative with this whole masturbation.
I
thing.
think it's
What you're
because they
trying
don't
to get out.
have.
I hope they're doing it because they're trying to use FDA approved condoms. And they're using safe stuff.
SpaghettiOs.
Yes.
Are they cooked or raw?
They
They were
look like
cooked.
they
It looked like they were
Was it warm?
It was big.
I don't understand.
But see,
Spaghetti noodles.
but look,
Hold
see,
on.
y'all frown upon
We
the
not.
spaghetti.
We're not
Okay,
doing
well,
anything.
Yup,
We're just
but-
surprised.
okay, you surprised about the spaghettios.
Yeah.
So why you surprised about what he said about women masturbating at work? To each
We
his
were
own.
surprised about that too until
Very
we explored the
surprised.
conversation. I'm
Right.
like, they do got them panties that
Now,
we
when
can
you
do
cook,
it on the go. I was a
you
little bit more
use
open to it.
spaghetti now, do you eat it afterwards? Because that's just a waste of food.
I know. Really.
It's just a waste of food.
That's why they buy two kids.
But they
So-
can cook it.
One for the kid, one for me.
All right.
Like,
No, but Tasha's first, and my preference, I prefer to lay down
spend
because
$1.50.
because I can't I can't enjoy the experience of an orgasm if I'm standing up.
Really?
Okay, I thought I was the only one.
Yeah,
Like,
because
Unless
once I'm getting ready to
What's the
teach,
difference
Right.
or what you say, it's a little bit more awkward for me
I
to
mean,
keep that
while I'm
position if I'm in a
not
standing
Well, you been the
position.
first
So
one
I
to
would
bust your
prefer-
ass.
You
It's a
could.
possibility, but I would prefer to be definitely laying
Laying
down.
down.
Right.
Okay.
Mhm.
Y'all
Awesome.
All right, so we're about to wrap this thing up because we don't want to go too far over.
Yeah.
No, we're about to go up, so we're gonna let everybody give their little last comment. So, you want to start with you? Want to give your little last summary
Now, I
of
have
the
another
show?
thing that
I
we
just
haven't
wanna
talked
say-
about. Wait, hold on. One more
Wait,
thing.
this our show.
Sorry.
Wait.
Security.
Right.
Hello?
Hold on, I'm
Security.
scary too.
Hannah and Tosh.
He's a new guest member. Just
Yeah, be
ease
nice.
him through
He's
it.
excited to be in the audience today, y'all, and there's nothing wrong with that.
It's so go.
So y'all gonna do a final
Now,
round.
with masturbation now, okay? Squirting and creaming and stuff like that, okay? I want to touch on, I wasn't on that here, well, I wasn't here when y'all touched on that subject. If y'all
They
did,
didn't.
okay, you see, so y'all missing some more stuff there.
We're
But
not missing everything.
before you say that, Kimia did make a comment about masturbation and pleasing herself. That's how she taught herself how to squirt.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Maybe
It's been
maybe
added to
Kima
the
said-
Good
show.
job. Good job.
Thank you so much. It's so informative.
Good job.
Women, you can teach yourself how to squirt.
and Zayboy says he beat off before while driving, but mostly when he's in the sleeper. This is for the truck drivers out there.
Gotcha.
While driving. All right. Rock, rock. Hey,
You never know what
you
they
gotta go,
doing
man.
when they beep beep.
I'm telling you. Look.
I
just
hope you
wanna say-
mastered that while you got us in jeopardy.
Right.
Go ahead.
I just want
Okay.
to say, oh, I'm sorry, I'm talking too much again.
No. You ain't been talking. You ain't been
I've been
talking.
shutting up a little
Y'all
bit.
shut him up a few times, but yeah. Okay.
All I want to say is, when it comes to marital part, when you have one masturbating, okay, it's been times I'm in love with my wife. I was in love with my wife. It was no problems. But it's been times I woke up horny on my off day. She had to go to work, and I wanted to have sex. I had to relieve myself. Even though I was married, happily married, my wife was at work, but she couldn't come get me
Is your
none.
wife okay with that?
Yeah,
Okay, well then you good.
yeah.
That's good.
She's been telling me get out the shower, just call her ass. She like, whoop.
Yeah.
With that little, what's that silver thing called? A bullet?
It's a bullet.
Yeah.
That motherfucker be
Look,
like,
I done smiled real quick. Look.
It's a
that's why my goddamn babies be going.
Yeah, that's my purpose because I don't do intercourse with the toys. It's
Yeah.
a no-go for me. I prefer that to be a human.
So the
For what
link
reason?
Tosh put in the
My
clip
bad,
is talking
yeah.
about bullets and
Toys
dildos and
and all
vibrators, all
Yeah.
kind of toys, and
Yeah.
lubricants and all that kind of
Lubricants.
stuff.
Everything in there.
Places
Places to
But
go
we're-
and buy toys that are.
Once again, we about to wrap this thing up. Tasha, you want to start with your final comments?
My final comments is be safe. Wash your hands. Be clean. That climax that you get when you do it. I'm lost.
Wash your hands. That's all you got to say.
No. Wash your hands. Be safe. If you're going to practice
Wash your
masturbations, wash your hands. Your hands, be clean. Use, what is it, water-based lubricants you should use? They should have water-based lubricants if you're going to use those. Use toys not from any websites or Amazon or stuff like that. Use toys from the appropriate places that we gave you. That way you stay safe. That way you don't injure yourself or cause yourself injury. And have fun. And rub on. Rub on.
Rub on.
Wax on, wax off.
Ain't nothing wrong with rubbing one out.
I just wanted to
Insert it, insert out.
I just wanted to say that again, I don't think masturbation personally is a problem. I mean, if you feel like masturbating, by all means, do what you do. Don't let what the culture and what religion and learned behavior has taught you, history, what history has taught you to, not be personal with your body, learning your body, learning what pleases you. Because I think that will actually help you even in sexual intercourse with your mate to even, know how to find pleasure in that even more. So, do what you do. Enjoy it.
Final tidbits.
Love self.
That's it. That's a good summary.
And don't feel ashamed about it.
Yeah.
No.
But when I in some occasions for men they have to do it because there is such a thing as blue balls. If you get a lot of, if you don't release yourself, we get a build-up. You know what I mean? And shit. Just release yourself, man. There's nothing wrong with
Release
it.
responsible.
Yeah, don't be
Release
shameful.
yourself.
That's all. There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with it. If you feel guilty, it's quite natural. 'Cause I still feel guilty sometimes. I don't know why it just comes through. I'm like, what the fuck? I shouldn't have did that.
Probably from what you would talk.
It's exactly. It's probably from what you've been
I'm good while I was coming. God damn. Oh shit.
Tired.
Yeah, so my final thoughts is pretty much it's along the lines of as far as Tasha saying be safe. Make sure that y'all don't be using no homemade products.
No hairbrushes. I see that a lot.
But we're definitely going to help you guys with the links, with that information that Tosh was
Yes.
kind of touching base on. Even with Pleasuring Yourself, once again, we're going to put all those links in there. But for the most part, y'all already know we are not here to tell you what to do, what not to do. We just realized that this was a conversation that needs to be had. Definitely more on a spiritual level. If your conscience condemn you, look, maybe it's if your conscience is condemn you, it's a sin to you. I will tell you, don't do it.
Absolutely.
If your conscience is not condemn you, then neither will us. We ain't got nothing to say. That means
That's
mind
right.
y'all business. You know what I'm saying? So
Mind your
if you don't want the streets to know your business, then keep it private at the end of the day.
Yeah, I agree.
Mhm.
Definitely.
Exactly. So
Check
enjoy
out
your
those
part.
links.
Exactly.
Y'all check out those links. What we got, what we threw out there for y'all.
Exactly.
And Kiana, where can they follow us?
You can follow us on Spoken with Purpose podcast. That's on our YouTube channel. You can follow us on Spoken Purpose is one of our Facebook page. Spoken with Purpose is another one of our Facebook pages, and Spoken with Purpose 3 on Instagram. And then you can find us on all of the podcast platforms. That's Apple, that's Spotify, that's what else? Anchor, all of them. Go check us out.
Podcasts is all pretty much any platforms that they got that whole podcast
Share,
shows.
like,
definitely
follow,
find us
comment. We love comments, suggestions, topic suggestions, all of that. You know what I'm saying? So we can kind of talk about any and everything that y'all want to talk about if we see fit.
Exactly. We want to thank our guests for coming on.
Yay, yay! You
Hey.
did good. You
Thank
did
y'all.
good. Thank you.
I'm gonna apologize one more time. I'm not gonna interrupt next time. If I come back, I swear to you, I'm gonna stay.
No apology.
You did good.
No apology. It was really last minute, and we definitely enjoyed you. We see that you are a good conversationalist. We will welcome you back at any given time.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So
I
we
love
all
it.
thank you.
I love what you guys got going on. I love it.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Y'all already know. Thank y'all out there in Facebook Live world for making all
Still
y'all
put those
comments
comments
and
down there.
tuning in. And y'all already know. Until next time, peace out.
Love, peace, and hair grease.